Children make up roughly 38% of our population. Our children are suffering in many dimensions: physical abuse and violence, neglect, and emotional abuse. The solution to this crisis requires a concerted societal approach.
Taking the bull by the horn, government is moving to ensure the best care and protection of the nation's children, and their needs are varying and complex. Data show that about 10% or 100,000 of our children have some kind of mental disorder, while another 5% may be suffering from severe cases. In the 2005 Youth Risk and Resilience Survey, 14% of adolescents felt lonely, sad, or wanted to cry, while approximately 7% had worry-affected sleep most or all of the time. These and other factors have spurred the government into action.
I have assembled an advisory council of psychiatrists to advise me on the psychosocial dimensions of the problem and to assist in implementing strategies to deal with them.
The advisory board of the Child Development Agency, the CDA, will also be doing a process audit to look at administrative issues, identify problems, and find solutions. The CDA has also signed an agreement with the University of Technology, which will see the agency training students pursuing courses in child and adolescent development. While that is in train, 11 more child investigators and psychologists have been added to the pool at the CDA to provide services to children in stage care. And the CDA continues to work to find suitable places for abandoned and neglected children. The agency has teamed up with the Correctional Services Department to remove these youngsters in need of care from adult and other remand centers. In August 2012, there were 36 such children.
We now have been able to reduce this number from 36 to 4 children. The 4 are there because they have been remanded to the facilities by court orders.
Since the CDA has no legal jurisdiction for children in police lockups or those in correctional and remand facilities through a court order, a recommendation is being made to amend at least 2 laws.
Cabinet will consider any possible change to this legal framework in the context of amendments to the Child Care and Protection Act and the National Plan of Action for Child Abuse 2010 to 2014, which contemplates the adoption with modifications of the United Nations Rules for the Protection of Children Deprived of Their Liberty, 1990.
As at August 2012, 452 children were being housed in juvenile remand and correctional centers, with 123 of them for uncontrollable behavior. Also on the legislative side, the Evidence Act has been amended to introduce technological aids to help young witnesses who have to give evidence in court. And under the Justice Ministry's Children in Court program, representatives from the Victim Support Unit have been offering counseling to affected children.
So as to make the experience less traumatic for them and to give them a better appreciation of what to expect when they are in court.
Government is also looking to promote foster care. In 2012, the Youth Ministry hired 2 social workers to help find appropriate foster homes for children in stage care.
As a result of that plan, we've kept over 900 children out of state institutions. In September 2012, I convened an interministerial working group to bring greater coordination to addressing the problem of children in conflict with the law.
And by early January 2013, that working group is to submit a report to Cabinet outlining recommendations to deal with the children. Draft regulations to establish a board of visitors for juvenile and remand centers have been finalized. This board will monitor conditions in correctional and remand centers and ensure that these facilities meet minimum standards.
The implementation of the National Child Diversion Policy, which provides alternative to custodial orders for juveniles who come in conflict with the law, is to be fast-tracked.
Public consultation on the policy will be organized in short order. The Interministerial Working Group also plans to recommend to Cabinet that the strategic objectives outlined in the National Plan of Action for Child Justice be implemented urgently. This would mean an increase in the number of family court judges and a new law to empower the police to use methods other than prosecution to deal with young offenders. The government is also moving to establish a suitable remand facility for girls. The lands have already been identified by the National Land Agency. In the interim, the South Camp Rehabilitation Center is being upgraded, while estimates have been completed to upgrade the Rio Cobre Correctional Facility for boys.
The Jeep Secretariat has now completed estimates for self-contained facilities as best practice police holding centers designed and designated for children to be built at selected police stations, with the ideal objective being to have one per parish.
Besides infrastructural work, government is also providing therapy for wards of the state,
including psychiatric services and specialist psychological counseling for children in juvenile facilities with an emphasis on therapeutic treatment and care. The crisis associated with children who come in conflict with the law is our problem as a country. It is a large part of a greater crisis facing our children, and everybody has a role in this. The caring might be costly, but not caring is not an option, and together we can achieve the best results.